Hey y'all, this is my dad. Say hey, Dad.
Hey everybody.
And tell them how much you love your daughter, that she's the best daughter ever.
She is great.
Too much delay. Move on.
She is great kids. Great daughter.
Oh my goodness, I gave my dad so much hell growing up. But okay, so I wanted to bring him outside because we are going to treat him with the FasciaBlaster, and he already treats himself with the FasciaBlaster. So Dad, tell him what you do. Talk about your stomach first.
Okay, well, to begin with, I'm 70 years old. Love to play golf, and when we play on Friday afternoons, and then Friday nights are date night. So when we go to the movie, and I used to get up from the movie, I could hardly walk down the steps in the movie, right at both hips. So I've been treating myself with a FasciaBlaster and trying to get rid of some of this belly fat that's right.
Well, and my dad had like the big barrel stomach. And tell them what happened when you opened it up, because actually women kind of complain about this with their legs. Like once you open up fascia bound and fat, then what happens?
Well, it's still there, but it's very mushy. It's very soft. It's not.
Well, your stomach's definitely dropped, because it actually used to hang out. My dad calls it a Mississippi sheriff's belly, and that's where it like hangs out over your belt, and you don't have any of that going on anymore.
A little bit, but I'm still trying to lose some of this weight that's around my midsection here around my chest.
Well, and at the end of the day, fat is fat, and you can blast so much, but then we also have the omentum sac, which is where the fat is held below where the FasciaBlaster can release. But I can tell you that my dad just looks slimmer and better than the last time I saw him. And then he was having right hip pain, which it's gone, but I was working with his golf swing. So go ahead and do it, Dad, because I'm gonna actually fix your golf swing. And I know a lot of you out there either have, you know, husbands, boyfriends, dads that love to golf, and it is a sport that causes all kind of. Talk about your little man's group, Dad. What are they all complaining about?
Everybody complains about lower back and hip problems, because that's all the twisting and turning that you do with the golf swing. It all goes through your hips right here. And
if you don't have the range of motion in the hip, Bart's standing behind me, it goes to your
knees
and
back
and
shoulders,
okay.
Ankles, everywhere.
So my dad's going to show you his swing, which by the way is pretty good. I used to work with the PGA, so I know way more about golf than I care to. So go ahead. I want you guys to look at his right hip. So go real slow, Dad, into your backswing. Watch. Oh, you look almost looser than when we just filmed it a second ago. Come back down. And I want you to
so slow.
Go ahead and just come up, because right at the very tip where he runs out of range, there it was. He does like a little hitch where he shifts his body weight to the side. Try to go even further, Dad. And where do you feel tight there?
All back.
In the low back. Okay, so if my dad had any less range of motion, he would be feeling it in his back. Okay, go ahead and show him your swing, which looks really good. But I will tell you this, the reason that his right hip was hurting him before he really started blasting and everything else was because of that shift. So what we want is when he goes up for the backswing, for his body to stay directly in the center, and that he has a perfect wind up without that little shift. Do it one more time, because I actually saw it. Did you see it that time, Bart? So he goes up and shifts right there. Do you see that little shift right at the end? So we're going to treat him, and I'm going to show you where you got to go to fix this. And if you guys have any golf lovers out there, this is be a great before and after video, and we will put the protocols for where we worked on the page later. But this is live. You cannot fake it. Also, isn't my daddy cute? You look so cute, Dad. He's a Vietnam veteran. He was a fighter pilot. Now he just wants to play golf. Is that too much to ask? So my dad is actually doing really good. He already FasciaBlast, but he likes to remain athletic, and we were working on his golf swing. And so Bart, go ahead and walk over there. I'm going to show him what you were doing. So go wind up and do the backswing. So what he was doing was he would go up, stop right there. So my dad did not have that range of motion. So show him what you would do with your hips. I don't know if you even remember, because you might not have felt it. Yeah, he would do like a little hitch. Yep. And so back out real quick so he doesn't hit you. Dad, let me see the whole swing, because he completely fixed it. And doesn't that feel better? And also, if you saw the before video, I know golfers are real into this. Go to your backswing again, and I'll put a before and after picture. My dad has the club so much further back your club head honestly was like over here in the before video. And what does that feel like range of motion wise, Daddy, after treatment?
Well, we can certainly move, get a better shoulder turn, get a better turn right in here. This shoulder really was tight. And also in the hip down in here, that it helped just
look at that range. You got way over 90 degrees.
Turn the whole body.
Okay, so we'll walk through exactly what we did.
So that you guys can either do this with your parents or your boyfriend, or if you're a golfer, have them do it to you. And 90% of this you could do to yourself, right, Bart?
Yeah. So pretty much all we did, as I told him to just by looking at his video, I told him where to fascia blast. So the first place we started was the right hip, the left hamstring, and then we did he did his thoracic, and then we worked on his left shoulder. He just told you that he felt his left shoulder was tight. So let's get back in your swing, okay, and we'll just go through it slowly.
So Bart treated him, but everything that you
right
did,
there.
Bart, you can do to yourself.
Exactly. So pretty much why his mechanics got off is because this shoulder was so tight, he couldn't achieve all the
that's a lot more thoracic
rotation
range
of
and
motion.
internal rotation of the hip.
He couldn't get the motion now. He has it now, but so when this stops, so it's frees your thoracic, this is going to have to pick up the slack. So this is what we saw.
So everybody that has
little
back
hip.
pain in golfing, this is why because I thought it was all hip, but then when Bart got in there, y'all found out it had a lot to do with internal rotation of the.
He was lacking internal rotation of the shoulder, and
Show them what that is, because most people I don't think know. Just do your arm, yeah. So internal. If you have trouble coming behind you.
This is normal motion, probably even a little excessive.
Yeah, I have excessive
too. As long as you
too.
can put it right here and lift it about an inch.
But if you can't do that and you're trying to do a golf swing, it's going to come out somewhere else. And then the other thing was his hip was jammed, and we'll put links to how to unjam the hip because we actually pulled it out.
So we did the pull out technique from YouTube. He said he felt it in his low back.
Low back.
He said so. That was what we did at the very end of the treatment.
So
followed by stretching.
low back pain, in my experience, is 90% a jammed hip.
Yep.
So I'll post the protocols for jammed hip, but you used a lot of anatomy terms, Bart. So just go back and kind of point to where he did it.
Where he did.
Yeah. So we did fascia blasting.
So we did this hip.
In the front.
In the front.
Okay.
And so that included his quad and inner thigh here. Okay. Then we did his left hamstring. Only those two.
Okay.
I didn't even concentrate on the other ones because I didn't think I needed to based on the video. And then let's flip around. Or sorry. And then we went.
He actually is standing up straighter too.
We went from the low back.
Pick your head up, Daddy. I don't like the way that looks. There you go.
We went from the low back up right here. We just did FasciaBlaster. Okay. And then we went to the traps, and then we did the posterior shoulder right here.
Yep. And you know what? You can hit most of that if you single hand the FasciaBlaster, or you can have someone do it with you.
And it's really like I didn't do anything crazy. He couldn't even take a lot.
Yeah.
He was real sensitive. So I just did nice and slow. All fibers though, because that trap has so many different. There's actually 3 of them right here, and right here. Their fibers are going different directions.
Right. So you got to hit it up and down.
They're going
side to
right
side.
here. They're going right here. They're going right there. So you got to really.
Dad,
go
is that where
cross
you
fibers.
feel the most better? Is your back, or do you feel? What do you feel?
Probably feel better in my hips, and then always right here in your arms, because and I would say maybe if your lower back, everything goes between your legs and your upper body in golf. It's where your legs attached to your hips, and your back attaches to your hips. Everything has to go through there. So
well, do it again, because I'm telling you, your golf swing looks different. And just watch out for that hitch at the end. You don't need it now. Now you can activate your core.
Now it's.
And then I can just go down and through.
Ooh, watch out, seniors tour.
Well,
We're coming. Bart, we need to get out of football and fascia blasting and get back on the PGA tour.
I'll say one more thing, just in case. So if you still see, if the athlete is still having that hitch, even though they know they can get out of it.
Such a good point.
You gotta reinforce it with an exercise. So even if it's not just swinging the golf club, it's just doing some sort of rotational exercise. So if I were him, I would do this. So I would take your back leg, just like that, just like you're in gait. Take the golf club right there, and then I would rotate like that. So that's promoting rotation of the hips, just like that. And bend that knee a little bit. Get that back leg straight. Yep. Perfect.
See how hard it is for him to stay on the midline?
Yeah.
So this is where we always talk about, and I'll post a link when we're done with the video.
To the right.
Bart, it's always two things, open and strengthen. And strengthen is the biomechanic part.
Yep. So just, you got to do some sort of exercise to reinforce the movement, or he's going to go back into.
But you've watched my DVDs. I feel like my DVDs cover everything. Single little human movement. In fact, I could take him right down into the plank that's like in the core foundations video. You don't have to do it, but I'll post it because I have a free link to it. But the thing is he's so right. Like, we could have opened my dad's hip and shoulder and everything else, and his brain could have still done it the old way, and that's where the biomechanics come in.
He'll do.
You got to break the habit.
That's right. It's muscle memory. Even an old dog like my dad knows you got it's habitual.
The one thing a golfer doesn't want to be doing when he's playing,
swaying around, moving his head,
or thinking about
his swing, right? Yeah. Thinking about his swing. So you do.
Yeah, you want to be thinking about the grade of the the topography of the course and.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, that's a good word.
Topography. I said it wrong.
Topographic.
Topography.
Or topography is.
Well, you're an architect, so you're certainly qualified to tell us what it is.
We'll be coming out with some golf stuff for the rest.
Bart is dying to get his little man's group going. So. Dad, you could be in the man's group. Yeah. Y'all could talk about golf and baseball and getting a flat stomach, whatever y'all.
That's what we got.
All right, so I'm glad you guys saw the after, and give me a minute, and I'm going to go pull some of the links of the things that we're talking about.
Better, though?
Tell all the ladies bye, Dad.
Bye, everybody.